How many activities during your day show the love that you have for yourself? Are you willing to pursue one of the hobbies that you used to have in order to have more moments of joy? In a culture where achieving, acquiring, and being busy is constantly promoted as a way to depict the successful people, many of those so called gurus or influencers don't even have congruency with the concept of loving themselves, beyond that they are externally defined by what they do, by everything that is external, and by the name that they have acquired. But they lack the ability to have activities to really nurture themselves, to really culture the relationships that they have, and many times they just promote obsessing with a culture of achieving and doing. Many times in our lives, we need some lessons from the universe in order to accept that we need to stop. We need to start also not doing anything and just relaxing and empowering ourselves by listening to what we are feeling, by applying the lessons that we have learned, by reflecting upon the things that we have achieved in the past, and also learning about how to regulate our emotions. Because through history, we have seen that one of the main important aspects of our lives is how well we interpret, we accept, and we regulate our emotions. How we handle the possible traumas that we had in our childhood experiences, and also how do we overcome the poor examples that probably we have, and how we start constructing a different narrative from the one that we experienced in the past. So loving ourselves starts with honoring our bodies and knowing more about how they internally work, how every message, every chemical signature is translated into a language that is going to give you health. How can we experience more longevity, more freedom, more experiences that are going to help us to achieve a more healthier environment? And that starts with us. That starts with deciding the type of food that we are choosing. That starts deciding when to exercise our bodies and start activating many of the regulating system, many boosting our immune system, allowing our cells to replicate and to change and to repair many of the mechanisms of the internal organs, hormones, and messages that we need to start recycling. Also, not abusing or not just going with the trends and eating more times in our days, respecting that wisdom of our bodies to just have 2 meals or at the most 3 meals, and allowing a big space of 14 or 16 hours of fasting is what will allow us also to nurture, to absorb, and to really process every kind of nutrient that we have. A lot of times for at least 2 decades, we have been listening the messages that we have to eat 5 times, 4 times, and we have to have small meals. That is just a complete lie. Our bodies are not designed for that. Our bodies act as a hybrid machinery that are going to give us more power, more cognition, more memory, and they are going to repair themselves better if we allow them space between the meals. So all of those knowledge, all of that knowledge, all of those lessons are just going to be processed in yourself if you have time for you, if you have a space for reflection, if you really allow yourself to feel the emotions in spite of being labeled as negative. All the emotions are giving us messages. They are trying to translate to us some information from the environment, from the relationships, from the traumas, from everything that we have lived in our lives, and we need to have time for that. If you are always busy, if you are always worrying about achieving or about acquiring things or about a fake image in the social platforms, then you don't have time for you. And you are always saying, I'm busy, I don't have time. And that translates into symptoms that are going to create a disease. So we need silence, we need isolation in terms of writing what you want, in terms of journaling, in terms of knowing what you are feeling, and also you need time to reflect on your life, to reflect on the lessons, to reflect on what you have done, and to start applying everything that you know. You are the expert of your life, you are the expert of your body, you just need patience and you need time for you. And that is going to reflect in an abundant life, which is not acquiring things and money, but is the sum of all the aspects. Abundance means that you are healthy, that you care for your body, and you have times for your body to sleep, to exercise, to really have space between the meals, and to accept your emotions and to reflect. All of those aspects are translated into an abundant life, into healthier relationships, into really demonstrating for yourself the love that you have. The word love is not loving someone else, is starting with you, loving yourself first, so that you fill your cup, and then that is going to reflect a loving environment where you will find a partner, where you will find a person that is also going to teach you many aspects of you, and you will have to be tolerant, and you will have to accept the other person, so that you can really extrapolate, learn, and start applying the most important lessons. Those are the most difficult aspects of our lives. The relationships is the most challenging environment where you will face many of your own demons, and you will also face the most impressive, enlightened, and most creative ways of thriving in your life. That's what love for yourself means. It is not just self-esteem, it is not just what other people think about you, it is not just acquiring things, it is not just creating a fake bubble. It is about within you. It is about diving deep into your own internal world. That's the idea of loving yourself. That's the concept that we have to start applying, and we have to start doing and reflecting more upon the things that are happening in our lives. Because that's the only way we are going to learn about ourselves. We are not going to learn about ourselves if we are just focusing our attention in the external things or distracting ourselves with the chaos that many of the platforms are just depicting. So that's my reflection for today. Those are the messages, the key lessons that I have learned in my life, and more now that I just passed through the COVID experience and through this accident. I have had a lot of time to reflect about my own life and my own path and my own things, that I can certainly now tell you that your life is the best schoolroom that you can have. Thank you very much for paying attention. Have a wonderful afternoon and weekend, and we'll see each other next Tuesday. Bye.